Okay, Madam Sylvia, welcome back.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I've been accused by the panel that I've been very fair to you.
Unfair?
Fair.
Thank you for that being unfair.
Unfair.
Being fair, sorry.
I've been accused by the panel.
Thank you for being fair to me, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, Honorable Rose, you have a few questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Madam, since the outbreak of COVID-19, emerging data and reports have shown that all types of violence against women and girls, particularly domestic violence, are intensified. What should you put in place to mitigate these vices and establish shelter, home, rehabilitation center for survivors of this domestic violence?
COVID, thank you. Through the chair, COVID-19 has brought havoc in our lives. I have to accept. We have witnessed violence the way the question is posed. Women and girls have experienced the wrath of this pandemic. As a counselor, I would engage peer counseling, engage the churches, because that is in social services. The women per ward can converse in a church, share their views with a counselor, do a proposal, a budget to take care of these counselors. We understand we have the retired teachers in our communities. We have social workers retired to counsel the women and the girls. Rehabilitation is another issue, but this is a long-term mitigation. It's a long-term. We cannot realize it immediately. But we can take them to the rehabilitation few centers that are there. The grants we can organize. If there are 2 young children, 5 years, we have the children homes. But my appeal and my plan on this is to each and every ward. I know we don't have social centers in each and every ward. Use the churches. They are also advocating. They are also counseling. So the help and assistance from this department and counsel this way. Thank you.
Thank you. In the recent past, the department was made with accusation of forceful children. Have you heard about that? Okay. In the recent past, the department was made with accusation of forceful eviction of street children and subsequent dumping in Baringo County. How are you address the issue of street children within our town?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I heard about the street children in the media. I cannot comment about the media report unless I move into the office and check what the fact. But on street children, I will use the social service department. I will have the data. In this data, I would like the age group. Let's group according to their ages. Some are out on the street with a lot of skills. They are following peer pressure. Some are in the street, but with parents. We need to take them back. Some are in the street because of violence at home. So that's the same. The director, Department of Social, with his or her team, will give me the data. From that data, I will try the street children according to the will be presented to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In Article 11 of Constitution of Kenya, culture as a foundation of nation and the cumulative civilization of people of Kenya. Nakuru is highly cosmopolitan county, representing the true face of Kenya. What programs will you put in place for promotion of social cultural diversity?
It is true, Nakuru is cosmopolitan, and that gives me confidence to say that we have all cultures, almost the 45 different cultures in the country. What I would like to do on culture issues, culture is broad. Is food, culture is language, code of dressing, culture is traditional belief. From the words, I'm still saying the words, because the honorable members of this assembly, they know their words better than I do. Through teamwork and collaborating and with objectivity, I will put my case to them. We take, if it is a food day, we make food from the county, from the ward, we bring it to the sub-county and to the county. So we can practice our culture in different ways. We can practice our culture. We can know what type of food, which tribe makes, what type of dressing, code of dressing. And I'm happy in this, that we have the Maasais. The Maasai culture has gone international. Even if you go to the streets of London, you will find the Maasai cultural dressing being sold. I would like to encourage other cultures to take seat, whereby they cannot do it before we practice. We can take a day of dressing culture in the county, and then we bring all dressing code according to different cultures. This one can be realized when I work with the youth leaders, honorable members of this assembly. Thank you.
You okay? Okay. Honorable Majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I said earlier, presenting a limited award, but welcome to this foundation. My question is, Nakuru County is a cosmopolitan with so many tribes, and we would like also Nakuru County to be national and international, recognized in those cultures and creative industries. What are the measures we will put to strengthen those cultural and also strengthen industries in Nakuru?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I agree that Nakuru is cosmopolitan. I think that we have different cultures. I want to mention that we have the youth who are quite talented in art industry. This entails the music, drama, fine art, drawing, craft. Using still the youth leaders and this house, I will be able to group according to their talent with little empowerment. For example, in music, I believe the 12 come to Nakuru, we will export our culture to them. There is digital and media. The youth are good in digital advertisements and information. There is a Nakuru Players Theatre next to Kokere. My moving into office, that should be my first stop to know what they are doing, what creativity are they having at the theatre. We can also have music industry. We can sell our songs in Kenya and beyond. There is a lot we can do with the teamwork, collaborating with members of the assembly because they know their words. And this creative industry we can only achieve when we start from the grassroots. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me say when you have said, when we begin from the grassroots, because those grassroots youth, in most times they are being forgotten because maybe they doesn't have access to the office of the CEC. Again, compared to the other departments in county government of Nakuru, the Department of Sports receives low budget allocation. Due maybe because budget process is a public issue. Do you know the percentage of the budget allocation have we allocated for this financial year for the sports and culture?
I have no idea, Chairman, but I'm getting that the budget to sports is low. I'm getting from the honorable member, and I'm wondering why sports in particular. Sports is an advanced activity that brings the young and the old together. I would advocate for more funds for sports. I would look for funds from the NGOs and from the private sector. I'm saying this with passion, Mr. Speaker, because while I was in Flamingo Primary School, I gave out so many sports, men and women. If you allow me to mention one, David Owino Kalaba, a footballer that is now earning his living, a youth with sports. That one came from my hands. When I went to Uhuru Primary, I also nurtured in sports, and I produced. There are so many, just allow me to mention one. Elvis Rupia. He's now playing number 9, AFC Leopards. And that is a product of sports. Youth can venture, youth can earn a living in sports. What am I going to do on this? I will call the youth that I've nurtured back to this county to come and invest, to come and motivate the youth, to come and train the youth. I'm told Faith Kipyegon, the gold medalist in 1500 meters in Tokyo, in just the ended Olympic Games. I'm told she's coming from Nakuru. I'll try to extend my able hand so that she can come invest and motivate my youth. I believe when Afraha Stadium will be complete, Mr. Speaker, I'll join the road running. There is another academy in South Korisol, in Kirege. I'm praying for its completion. That will help me to nurture sports in the county. So it's surprising to me that the budget is low on sports, and that is the backbone of the youth that I'm going to mentor and to lead for a better life. Thank you.
Okay, Chairman,
Proceed.
my worry maybe is, the minister is saying that the sports department has a low percentage of the budget allocation. I don't know why she didn't have passion to know at what percentage even before she joins at that department. Because when she says just low, maybe my expectation could have been she knows at what percentage we have. So that's when you say all those activities you are saying, it's true, but if the department has a low percentage, which you don't know, how will you now have measures to increase that percentage that you don't know at that current current?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's not I who has said low budget. It's the honorable member who has informed me that sports received low budget. That's why I was reacting. Otherwise, it didn't come from me, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
But you had said, the chair,
Yes.
you had said that she understands it has low percentage. So I think I wanted to know at what percentage. But anyway, the department has 2.8%. 2.8%.
Thank you.
Out of the 23 billion, 246 million and 20. Which translates, 2.8% translates to around 648 million. It is extremely very low. You said the percentage of youth and women is, you said it's 2/3. Three-quarter, you said three-quarter. You can see the total population for Nakuru is three-quarter, and you can see the allocation the department has been given. So you have a big role to play. So can you explain how you intend and explore funds from the county treasury so that maybe through your collaboration they can be in a position to increase that percentage? And also, how will you also get other donors to sustain the programs in the youth department and improve the status of the sports in the county?
I will formulate a policy, present it to the committee of this house, raise concern about that low budget for sports. And on that, I will also present my strategic plan, why I want the increment of that budget allocation. And I believe the Committee for Sport will listen to me. For the donors, as a CEC, exercising the executive authority conferred on me by the chief executive, I'll be able to reach out even to the bankers, to sponsor sports, and be able even to go to management company just around here. I'll go to bed. You know, when you want, you go for it. I'll try to look for that. Industries and even bankers, if they can sponsor sports, so that I start it down from the grassroots, coming up. And I'm also wishing that we can also have a football team from Nakuru with the Premier League through the grassroots summit. Thank you.
Let me get on that. You have mentioned about companies in Nakuru, but you never appreciated that some of the companies are doing a lot in sports. Already. You're aware of it?
I'm aware, sir.
Which company and what they do?
Mengai, Bidco, they sponsor football teams.
What else is known? Very passionate by many about Menengai.
I know that because my youth always join their team.
Okay. I believe sports is not only football.
Yes.
You are aware Menengai has for a long time been sponsoring the rugby team. Top five.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in the procurement, there is a requirement of a certain percentage of supporting the access to procurement opportunities for the youth, women, and gender. Do you know which article in the Constitution that supports the other question? The article in the Constitution that supports the issue of procurement, and especially in the issue of the access to government procurement opportunities for the youth, women.
People said it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm aware that I'm aware that 30% of the procurement should be to the youth and the PWDs and women. And I know it is a chapter, but I can't just quote exactly the number from that chapter 11. Thank you, Chair.
I think you need also to do research on that, because as a CEC, you need to know that if you get an opportunity to that office, you need to be advocating the article of that constitution, which is 237, that supports the issue of the other course, which has not been actualized or achieved in government and in particular in Nakuru. So, in the past, procurement institution of sports equipment in the county was marred with allegations of corruption, delays, and low quality. What measures do you intend to introduce in the department to ensure that the county gets value for the money? There will be no corruption, there will be no delays, there will be no low quality. And also, making sure in your department that the youth, women, people with disability, they will be getting tenders because they have been given by our constitution. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Speaker, on corruption, to me, it will be zero tolerance. When you talk about the delays and poor quality products given, I think there was no proper supervision and selection of the tendering of this particular goods to be, sports items to be delivered. As a CEC, zero tolerance corruption, I'll make sure I monitor keenly the selection of this procurement part of it. I know it lies with the chief officer, but the chief officer is under my document. So I'll make sure, and when corruption arises, let the law take its course. because that is an enemy for any development in a society. Corruption.
Thank you. Now, let's now take a different route. Was there a process in which the executive arrived at you? Or you just got a call that you've been nominated?
The executive explained the other day why I was appointed. But the way I
What was
learned,
the explanation?
the way I learned of this post is through a friend. A friend told me to try. I didn't see the advertisement, but I was told to take my CV, that there is a call, there is a vacancy. And always when we hear of vacancies, we rush and try. That's how I took my CV.
Yes.
And I was called for the interview. I was interviewed,
Okay.
and I went back home.
Okay.
Then I was called again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Honorable.
Something here, Speaker, sir. Madam, why have you made that idea, why have, what have you really thought? Because I felt that you have been promoted in your previous career, an educationist, you have really mentored youths, you are educating youth, so I felt it's a very good job. What has made you think of applying this one? And yet we have about 1 year, or less than, maybe 1 year, 2 months you've been in this job. Why have you decided to leave that job and come to this one? Is it passion or what you would want to know as a committee?
Thank you.
Even as the ones are, there's some explanation you say that was done by the executive. We cannot leave it that explanation. Although, under the Constitution, the governor is not bound to give an interview, but we want to get to know the reason if we are aware. Yes, as you answer that.
It is true. I am a head teacher, but I live better with more challenges than small ones. Where I am and where I'm heading to, I know the challenges. That is one. Two, with qualifications. I want to venture into youth. I want to venture into sports. I want to venture into social life because I've been doing that. I'm a warden in my church, and a warden in an ACK church, you hold all the departments with you. So when I heard of this, I thought it will give me a wide opener so that I can meet a wider group, work with a wider group, because I believe I have enough experience. I'm not saying that my job is bad. No. A human being must venture. A human being must go ahead, not backwards. That is why I accepted. To answer the chairman, the executive said he has appointed me because of my credentials. A manager, administrator, above all, he wanted an inclusivity type of governance because Nakuru is cosmopolitan. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I want to know.
Oh, you're not new.
Yes, I want to know
Okay.
on the issue of procurement of the sports equipment. And I'm interested to know what measure we can department to ensure that the county gets the value for money, and those measures will be for that we get value for money. There will be no delays persons with disability, they have been complaining about because of the delay of the supply of the equipment and their funds. Something we would like to know, what measures will you put to make sure that they don't delay for those funds, for those sports equipment, and at the same time, what measures will you put for us, for those youth at Kilisoi, Tine, at Maimaji Ward, at Waseges in Subukia, that when you go at Waseges as a CEC, you will get a youth group that has a company and they were given a tender to supply. But currently you can go on the bid so you can get that. Now, what will you do to avoid this using procurement? What measures will you put?
I think the chair,
Proceed.
I think this is on tendering. We have just agreed that 30% of tendering should go to the youth, women, and PWDs. So youth as a group, if they come for, what brings this is inability. They will win the tender, but maybe inability to supply. They may win the tender, but maybe they may not move in time to provide. So I think during tendering, we should put some measures that we work with deadlines. And that will prevent the delay of supplying goods before or later at the time frame. Thank you.
I was not there saying that the supply was being made by the youth who have won the tender, but delays comes from the departments. For instance, we have allocated the resources for persons with disability. Even those funds, the procedure, those funds has not been released, and the financial year lapses. What measures will you put to make sure that there will be no delays for those funds and also for supply, for procurement activities for the youth?
Thank you, Chairman. I'll work with the committee. Some delays may be because the approval has not been done. So when I move to the office, allow me to find out why there is a delay in such tenders. Thank you.
Okay. Let me go back to my earlier question. Now, when you got nominated and you knew that you're going to come to the county assembly for vetting, did you go your research of the department as one of the members of the cast? And that is specific to an answer that you gave us. At the moment you will be approved and sworn in, you will visit the group there. And I wondered whether you are restricted even before you are a CC to get there.
Chair, I will visit the facility in my capacity as the CEC. There is no obligation of not going there. But I will go now to find out as the CEC of that docket, to learn from the youth what they have been doing. Maybe I've just been there to watch the place, but now I'm going not to be a visitor, but to learn from them.
Okay.
Thank you.
You've been a head teacher. You've been a head teacher.
Yes, sir.
You've been managing resources.
Yes, sir.
Could you give us a feel of, in terms of Kenya shillings, how much you've been managing at your school in terms of money?
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. At my school level, per year, I would manage 1.2 million.
1.2 million. And you've heard that that locate agreed to manage now is, you said 800 million?
648 million.
648 million. How do you expect to handle that kind of the shock of from 1.2 million to 648 million?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm a maths teacher. That is one. I've managed one which is there through consultation with the CEO, the director, other stakeholders in that government. I will be able to manage. I'm a team player. I don't work in isolation. Thank you.
In other words, you are not going to get excited. You know, somebody will be like, if already 1.2 million, I'm the big boss around now. You've heard about corruption both in county governments and the national government. What specific measures, once nominated, approved for this position, are you going to take within your department to curtail that vice corruption?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to have a meeting with the departmental heads and the CCMs and tell them about chapter 6. I will talk to them and tell them they must practice integrity. And in case one is found in corruption, nobody should say the CECM, not the one. And the law will take its place.
Yeah, you talked about zero tolerance to corruption, and I want to understand how that zero tolerance. Will it only be on talking, because even them right now, not that they don't know that corruption is a vice, it's illegal. Only talking alone?
Not talking alone, Mr. Speaker, I put it in practice.
So would you tell us now once, what would be your relationship, although we know the concept and the principle of the separation of powers, what would be your relationship between your department or yourself and the CECM? Or it ends now here after the election? Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've mentioned several. I've mentioned in almost all my answers that I will embrace and work closely with the members of this House. For me to succeed, for me to implement, I need to work hand in hand with the elected members by the electorate. They know the grassroots better than I do. So working closely as a team, I believe we will succeed. It is not ending here. These are honorable members of this House. They are part and parcel of the implementation of the policies. I can't do it without them. I want to assure them
Okay.
positive relationship. Thank you.
Now, before I give to our friends, what will be the big bang of Sylvia in that department? What shall, what shall you be known for, once you go into that department? Because I can see you're very soft spoken. But what will be the big bang in that rocket once you get it? Yes, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My speech may not be my action.
No,
I am a tough, talented lady.
that's not what you want to know. What will be the big one? It's not about the talk.
That's what I'm saying. I'll do the work, I'll put the action, I'll consult with the CEOs because I'm new to the docket. After getting the guidance, we will work as a team. I may be soft-spoken, but that is not silly.
And I don't intend to change.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We have people also who are very hard talking, but in the same docket, and that is it. Yes.
You would have given her an extra minute also to touch on women empowerment. We just talked about
You.
Let her mention something about women empowerment because it is in the same document.
Or gender, because now we even talk about the issue of what it is.
Yes.
When you want to develop a nation, start with the woman. The women, there has been biased employment on women. And I know the women have suffered a lot. With the procurement, it is 30% youth, women, and PWDs. I'm going to work through the honorable members to get the women groups, share their challenges, share their strengths. How can I support them? How can we move forward? How can we develop our groups? Because I know the several groups of women are outside there waiting for me. Thank you.
Honorable, if I have anything to say before we have the last one, I close it first. You can stand if you so wish.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and also thank you for having time. Mine, I'll not ask any question, but there's some, Mr. Speaker, I want to inform you, like 21 years ago, August 25th.
Just go back to the book that was agreed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. 21 years ago, August 25th, a time like this, that's the time that I married my mother.
Well,
I was, but I really respected the strength of a woman. Women have power. Women need to be respected. It is from a woman that we were born. It is from a woman that now we are
Honorable, I declare you out of order because we are not debating, we are getting.
Okay, thank you. And it was just from, okay, I will take the line.
Because that one comes
So,
during
Mr.
the
Speaker, that will come during the debate. Also, I want also to inform the people of Nakuru that Nakuru is a cosmopolitan county. So when it comes to selection of any jobs, we are not discriminating that you come from. As long as you have the policies, as long as you have.
Thank you. You're out of order. Out of order. That is during the debate.
Thank you. I will debate at that time.
I thought you had a question for the nominee.
Not for the
For a clarification.
Okay, I'll debate when the time comes.
Thank you. Am I right, honorable members of the committee? Yes. Yeah, Karen, you have any question? Clarification to launch? Yes, sir, a friend of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and the Chair. Maybe I would like to ask our nominee, what has really propelled you to leave the teaching profession? I That's the clarification. To just a CC in a period of that will lapse in a period of time. What exactly have we prepared you to that? Maybe in that one, you also add this one. You know, it has been like a tradition, Mr. Speaker, that even in the national government, they are going for the aged. The people who are older than the youth. Now, now when you become a CC, what will you really do? Such that such a thing you will be now a champion for the youth. Such that jobs do come for the elderly and not for the youth. Then what have you really done outside when you are teaching? You know, when one is teaching, you deal with a group from up to 18. And now you'll be dealing with from 18 to 35. In all those categories that we have enumerated, what will you here do that the use of Nakuru will say that they have got a savior other than the Gababas and the Ruses that we have in that department? And the last one, maybe, you know, Mr. Speaker, you know, there was a Kinashaka Rotuli in this country. There were so many things that were playing counting, and they were like tourism. They were promoting local tourism. Maybe I would like to know whether, because Nakuru didn't participate in the just the concluded games, Mr. Speaker, and the chair. Are you aware how many goals maybe we scooped in the county? And how will you do to make sure that your department will shine? And what policies will you have? Because, Chair, you know that in roads, we have Boresha Barabara, the Krani. In agriculture, we have something to do with the Paridiram divide. Have you known what is in this department?
Just a clarification. You asked about how many goals we scored. Which match now?
No.
You asked about a certain match.
Not much, Mr. Speaker. You know there was athletics that ended and the governor was in.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sir, kindly, as friend of the committee, kindly. There are some questions that are already, the nominee has already answered about the youth and whatever. So because of also time, I want also the friend of the committee, the one I remember, not to discuss back.
No, it's okay. Let's just come to the nominee. No, it's okay. Answer the ones, and if you have already answered, let's say you've already answered.
And again, Mr. Speaker, Karanja, can you just be clear, because we have Olympics, and then we have the team. No, confirmation.
You also know
Okay. Otherwise, these people are going to start up again.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What motivated me, I've already answered. The age, I've said. The group, I'm working with youthful parents, elderly parents. I'm not only working with kids in school. The school community is entirely part. About the Olympic, I know of the Olympics, but the one that ended yesterday, the other day, I know we were number 1, but I'm sorry I can't remember the medals. But the Olympics, we had 10, 4 gold, 4 silver, and 2 bronze. But I think the one that ended the other day came when I was maybe a bit having anxiety to appear to this vetting. It skipped me, and thank you so much.
Thank you. In conclusion, you've talked about chapter 6 several and many times. Could you tell us what the guiding principles of chapter 6 are?
Chapter 6 talks about integrity, selfless and honest word, service to the public, last that I can mention is accountability. Accountability to the public. Thank you.
So you will not be a servant leader. You say what you say, but that is very key. You must be servant leader. Not to all of people, that will be the servant of the people.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we're coming to the end of the vetting process. And for the interest of the public and the petitioners, we could not be able to stop this vetting process because we also guided by the Constitution and the County Government Act. And among the requirements of the County Government Act is that a person may be appointed a member of the County Executive Committee if that person is a Kenyan citizen, which I believe you are, is a holder of at least first degree from a university, which you have told us you have. So as far as the requirement of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, which you have provided, and has knowledge, experience, and a distinguished career of not less than 5 years in the field relevant to the portfolio of the department the person is being appointed. So based on that, we could not go by the petitioners, and that's why we had these vetting, because age is not a criteria in this. But that we shall retreat to do a report for your suitability besides others. And we want to thank you for your patience. Unless there is an issue from the members. Any member with any other issue?
May I just inform the nominee, if she happens to be at home, there might be challenges in Nakuru use. I mean, the expecting more on registration.
In case she is nominated, we have very many motions, bills, but in that department is implementation. So we would request that the same are implemented so that they will be able to assist our needs.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to reiterate that we are looking forward to, if at all you succeed in this venture, we are looking forward to getting more proactive policies for the youth and the women, the gender plans. You may appreciate also that your work is more of policy building for this department. Otherwise, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Yes,
I also wish the nominee all the best. This has been a docket that has been predominantly been occupied by women, but have ended up not women. So can you make sure that you rise to the occasion? Let all the sisters and the pharaohs believe and see that they have gotten a seat. Can you also make sure that when you are working, and I know some of these things, Mr. Speaker, they are important because he is a counseling psychologist, that you do involve and consult the impact, because by so doing, you will escape so many traps and involve the youth and make sure that what you do will not put the whole committee that has vetted you into disarray and into disrespect.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is also a party short, just to wish you all the best as the committee retreats to do their report. And if at all God gives the chance to work with this department, may He also give you favor with the youth. Amen.
thank you very much. I think it goes without saying that should the House approve you, because after this the committee is going to write a report, of which will be brought to the floor of this House. all the 78 members are going to debate on it. But I want to assure you, already you had a mood. You'll have to look for a way, if approved by the House. You'll have to look for a way to make amends with the youth. I know you are not enemies as of now. But I need to trust that you're going to say what you have said and do for them what has never been done by the other CECM. The issue of sports equipment you've had, a lot of challenges. The issue of street children you've had. The issue of women you've had, alcohol, so should the House approve it? Those are things that you should take. In fact, those are the notes that you need now to have, if approved. Pastor Jana, we wish you well. This committee will retreat right report. It will be tabled in this house and debated. Once approved, to me and Governor, the communication.
Thank you, Chair.
Asante sana. You have anything to tell the committee before you leave?
I want to appreciate each and every honorable members. The questions were valid. I've enjoyed being here. Thank you for the warmth that I've received. It has given me a lot of courage to explore. Above all, thank you, Chairman, for your time. May God bless you. I'm humbled. Thank you.
Asante sana. So, Dr. Towns, you may escort the nominee.